Hey there, welcome to your practice. Today's sequence will be all about opening our front side body. Tightness along this side is very common in runners. The upper body tightens because of our leaning posture when we run, and the psoas and the hip flexors usually shorten because of how much work is demanded from our quads. We will also explore some mobility movements with the spine so we can improve our posture and release any tension. You will need a strap, alternatively a long belt or a towel will do, a block that you can lean your weight on. Alternatively, you can also use a water bottle. Roll out your mat when you're ready and let's get started. We'll start in our Sukhasana or easy seated pose. Once you're here, bring your arms out to the side. We're just gonna do some shoulder rotations. So start to bring your shoulders up, back, and down. Again, up, back, and down. So just a few more times, just like that. Maybe explore if you feel better doing small movements or doing grander movements. Bring your arms out and around as well. And as you do this, maybe just start to get to know the shoulders, how they're feeling today. Does one side feel tighter than the other? Doing this for a few more sets. All right, just gonna rotate, changing direction going forward this time. Bringing it up and then forward. Up, forward, and down. This movement is really a good warm-up for our shoulders before our sequence today. And it also brings lubrication in the shoulder joints, which will help us feel a little bit more loose, especially when we swing our arms during our runs. All right, just one last here. And then exhale, settle the hands down on the mat. Now we're just gonna transition into our all fours position. Go ahead and take your hands and your knees on the mat. Take the hands underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. Now point the toes back. We'll just start with some spinal warm-ups. Inhale, lift the tailbone, lower the belly. Chest comes forward as you gaze up. Exhale, reversing the position, rounding the spine, drawing the tailbone down. Looking down maybe towards your knees. One more time, inhale, cow pose, tailbone up, arch the back, look forward. Exhale, round the spine, belly in, pressing the mat away from you. We'll do that two more times. Inhale, lift the tailbone, arch the back, chest out wide. Exhale, round through the spine, belly in, chin to the chest. One last inhale, come through. And exhale to round. Good, coming back to center. And then this time we'll just explore some movements in our hips. So you can bring the hips to the left side, towards the back, out to the right, and then forward once more. So you're creating a big circle with your hips. No need to keep the arms super straight as you do this, and maybe go to the other direction. Again, getting to know the muscles in our low body, what feels tight, what feels like they need more stretching today. Now, start to explore other movements here aside from what we did. Maybe just moving forward and back, or exploring creating a figure eight this time with your hips. Doesn't matter what you look like. And you can even close your eyes here so you can feel more. Just treating this as an exploratory movement. Good, on your next breath, we'll meet ourselves back in center, back into your tabletop. All right, now bring the left hand underneath your face and you'll reach the right arm up and over your head. Open the shoulders out towards the right side. If available, you can even try to look up towards the right fingers. Take another breath, really reach the right fingers up. And as you exhale, bend the right arm. You'll thread the right arm underneath the left, reaching towards the left side of your space, and then just wait for the right shoulder and the right ear to land down onto the mat. Your hips will stay lifted up. Press down through the left hand so you feel a stretch around the right shoulder. If this feels comfortable for you, you can also explore reaching the top hand, the left hand forward towards the top of your mat. Keep the belly drawing in here. One more breath, inhale. And then exhale, walk the left hand back beside your face. And then again, you'll reach the right arm up and over your head, inhale. Exhale, lower the right hand down. Set the right hand underneath your face. Inhale, lift the left arm up. Open across the chest. See if you can look up to the left fingers. Now as you exhale, thread that right arm underneath. Reach towards the opposite side of the room. Left ear down, left shoulder down. Keep the chin away from the chest. And again, if this is where you need to stay today, you can stay here. Otherwise, explore adding a little side stretch by walking your right fingers towards the top of the mat. Just another breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Walk your right hand back beside your face. And then press into the right hand. Reach the left arm energetically up. Exhale. Lower the left hand down. Now walk the hands forward towards the front. Bend the elbows and we're going to lower the hips and the belly all the way down. Point the toes back. Maybe take the feet as wide as the hips. Take your hands beside your chest or your armpits and then draw the elbows in. We'll do some Cobra lifts just to open up again across the chest. On your next breath, inhale, lift the chest up. Keep the elbows drawing in towards the sides and keep the feet pressing down. You should start to feel some back bend already here. Take another breath, inhale. Exhale, lower down. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, lift the chest up. You don't have to go up so high, but start to feel the work on the back muscles. Keep the feet pressing down. Imagine you want even the pinky toe to touch the mat. Exhale down. One more time. Inhale, lift the chest up. Maybe lift the arms and the hands away from the mat. Maybe a slight squeeze to the inner thighs. Exhale down. Two more just like that. Inhale into your Cobra. Lift the chest. Lift the hands. Squeeze the elbows. Squeeze the thighs. Exhale down. One last inhale up. Keep the feet down. Arms up. Exhale down. Tuck your toes. We'll press ourselves back into our tabletop. And then come into your downward facing dog, lifting the hips up and back. Make sure the feet are separated as wide as the hips. If the hamstrings feel tight today, you can always bend your knees, but focus on lifting the tailbone up towards the ceiling. Also keep the arms long and strong. Press the chest back towards the thighs so you maintain a nice long spine. We'll take one more breath in. And then exhale here. Now look forward. We'll just lower the knees down and come back into our tabletop. We'll bend the elbows and again lower ourselves all the way down. And then come into another variation of our Cobra lifts. Point the toes back. This time take the hands behind your head. And I'd like you to focus on pressing the head onto the hands as you bring the elbows out and back away from you. When you're ready, inhale, lift up to your Cobra. Draw the elbows out, squeeze the thighs in, and exhale, lower down. 4 more times just like that. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, lower down. 3 more. Inhale, lift the chest up. Draw the elbows out to the side. Exhale down. 2 more. Inhale up. Open across the chest. Exhale down. 1 last. Inhale, come up a little bit higher. Lift the chest, elbows out to the side. Exhale all the way down. Awesome. Take a rest first. You can rest your hands in front of you and rest your forehead down. Relax the shoulders. And come back to your breath. Long, deep breaths in. Slow breaths out. When you're ready, hands back beside your chest. Tuck your toes and we'll just come back into our downward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back. Take a breath in down dog. Inhale. Exhale. In your downward facing dog, slowly lift the right leg up towards the sky. It doesn't have to be so high, but we'll focus on squaring the hips out today. So see if you can gaze down towards your right toes. Make sure that the right toes are pointing down. That will help you square out the hips. Maybe start to press the left heel down towards the mat a little bit more. Feel the stretch on your hamstring and on the calf muscle. Take another breath in. And a breath out. Now start to look forward. Step your right foot forward in between the hands. Lower the left knee down and untuck the left toes. Come up to your right knee. Inhale, lift the torso upright. We'll stay here for a couple of moments. Just feel out the stretch happening on the front of your left hip. You can even push this right knee forward towards the toes a little bit more as you lower the hips. But see if you can keep the belly engaged, drawing the belly in towards the spine. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale and exhale. You can ease up on the lunge first. Take the hands behind your head, interlacing your fingers. Again, press the head onto the hands. Bring the elbows out towards the sides. We'll lift the chest and the heart up towards the ceiling. Find a nice back bend. Feeling the back bend happening across the upper back. Keep sending the chest up. Keep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. And breathe out. Slowly come back to center. Release the hands and lower the hands on the mat. Now shift your hips back. So if you notice, my left hip is on top of the left knee. If you're looking like this, you might just want to walk the left knee back. All right, now straighten out that right leg. Go ahead and lift the toes up. If you're here and you can't quite straighten out your right leg, or if you're here, some of us may just be here and cannot quite reach for the floor, that's where the props can come in. So you can take a water bottle if this is all you have, and then prop yourself up onto the water bottle, just like so. I'd like you to keep pressing down on that right heel and really start to feel the stretch happening on the back of your right leg or on the hamstrings. If you're down onto your hands or your fingers and you would like to go further, you can even lower your chest closer down towards your knee, gazing forward towards the toes so you can maintain a nice long spine. This might be a lot for some. I know it took me years to finally come down like this. So just be patient and kind to yourself. We all have different capabilities and accessibility in our bodies. And it's really all about the intention of feeling the stretch instead of going far and worrying about trying to reach our toes. Take one more breath in, wherever you are. And then on an exhale, we'll lift ourselves back up. Re-step the right foot down onto the mat. Now from here, I'd like you to move the right foot out towards the right side. And then take your hands down on the mat beside your right big toe. Inhale, lift the chest up. Coming into your lizard pose, maybe lower the hips down. Feel much more stretch around the left hip. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now reach the right arm towards the back. If the shoulders feel tight, if the right shoulder feels tight, you're welcome to just bend that right elbow and just stay here. Otherwise, if that's accessible, you can reach back and then even try to bend the left leg, catching your left foot with the right hand. And so now we're focusing on opening the shoulders. So go ahead and press the foot onto the hand if you're grabbing that. Lean back a little, maybe try to open the chest out, externally rotating your shoulder, and maybe look up at the ceiling. Taking one more breath in, and then exhale, gently lower the left foot down, settle the right hand back onto the mat, and we'll just step back into our downward facing dog. Again, realign the feet as wide as the hips. Take a deep breath in through the nose and a long breath out. Start to feel the difference after the stretch on the right leg. Maybe some spaciousness around the left front hip. And we'll balance it out. Left leg up, inhale. And pointing the left toes down to the mat, squaring off the hips. Keep the arms nice and strong. Inhale. Exhale, pressing down more onto the right heel. Good. Now look forward. Step your left foot far forward as you can. Lower the right knee down. Untuck the right toes. Come up to your left knee. Hands on top of your left knee. Lift the chest. Draw the belly in. And start to feel the spaciousness around the right front hip. Maybe a slight squeeze on the right butt cheek to protect your low back. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Ease up on the lunge. Take the hands behind your head, interlace your fingers. Again, bring the elbows out towards the side, away from your periphery. Lift the chest, lift the heart up. Even gaze up to the ceiling. Feel a nice stretch across the shoulders, across the chest. If you feel a little wobbly here, keep your core engaged and keep pressing down through your feet. Let's take one more breath in. And an exhale as we bring our chest back to center. Hands down onto the mat. Taking your half split. Moving the right hip back. And then straightening out this left leg. You can just also wiggle this heel forward until the left toes are pointing up. Hands underneath your shoulders. Again, using a block if you need to. Lift the chest up. And exhale, sending the chest down closer to your foot. There may or may not be sensations here on the back of your leg, but most usually there is. But if not, see if you can try to lift the left tailbone, left sitting bone rather, up towards the ceiling. So you're creating like a cow pose position, or imagine you're creating a back bend. So you feel much more stretch around the top of the hamstring. And maybe even try pointing your toes towards the face. Lots of variations, lots of explorations here to find the maximum or just find what feels good. We'll take one more breath in. And then exhale, lift yourself back up, maybe come up to your fingers, re-step your left foot down onto the mat, moving your left foot out towards the side. Left hand beside your right, left big toe. Inhale, lift the chest up. Expand through the collarbones, open through the chest, look forward. Breathing into the space around the hips, on the front of the groin. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. And breathe out. Good. Reach the left hand back. Open across the chest once more. Again, easy option. If the left shoulder feels tight, just bend the left elbow. Otherwise, reach back, bend the right leg, catch your foot. If this is not available for you, you can use a strap and just loop the strap around the ball of your foot. So you have more leverage to pull. Again, open across the chest. Press the foot onto the strap or your hand. Feel the expansion. Keep lifting through the top of the head. Last breath here, inhale. And then exhale. Slowly release without slingshotting that foot. And settle the left hand back down. Tuck your right toes and we'll come back into our downward facing dog. Feeling out the legs again. If you'd like to pedal the feet, bending one leg at a time. If that was too intense for you, just notice and observe the feelings that may arise. Notice the sensations around your hips, the back of your legs, and even through the shoulders and the arms. Take another breath in your down dog. Inhale. And then exhale. Start to lower your knees down onto the mat. Sit down on your heels and then shift your hips to one side so you can bring your legs out in front of you. Now straighten out the right leg, bend the left knee. You'll lower the left knee down towards the side. Take the left foot against the right inner thigh. Now keep the right toes pointing up. Taking your hands beside your right leg. Inhale, lift the chest and maintain that nice long back. Exhale, start to walk your hands forward without hunching, without rounding the spine so much. Some classes might teach you to bring your forehead close to your knee, but we're not focusing on that right now. Instead, we'll try to find a nice long spine in our fold. And just start to breathe into this a couple more moments. Maybe you're able to reach for the top of the mat beyond the feet. And as you do this, notice how you're able to fold forward a little bit more. On your next breath, we'll slowly just lift back up. Now we'll take our left hand back behind our left hip with the fingers pointing back. Turn the right toes out to the left, that maybe the sole of the foot touches the mat. On your next breath, press onto the left hand and lift your hips up and forward towards the ceiling. Reach the right arm up and over your head, and maybe gaze towards the right fingers, finding your modified wild thing. If this is too much for your neck, you can always bend that right arm and support your head with your arm. Keep opening the hips forward and up, maybe taking the left hip higher than the right. Holding this for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower both hips down and then come back to face the front. We'll just switch sides. So straighten out the left leg and then bend the right knee, taking the right foot against your left inner thigh. Keep the left toes pointing up to protect the knee. Hands framing your left leg. Take a breath in, lengthen the spine. Exhale, walk your hands forward and bring the chest down as you fold. If you're not quite here yet, you can use a strap or your belt to do the job for you. You can loop the strap around the ball of your left foot, hold on to opposite edges, and just have a slight tug. So again, avoid rounding or collapsing through your shoulders and your back. But see if you can maintain looking forward, lifting the chest. And again, it's about the intention of feeling the stretch on the back of your left leg instead of going for the depth. I know as runners or as athletes, we're also competitive and we always find ways to find our edge and go for the maximum that we can do for the practice. But this is not a training session and this is not a competition. And so maybe this practice can help us teach us patience in our bodies and being kind to ourselves, knowing when to soften and when to take a step back and accept whatever our body has in store for us today. Slowly release your hands or your strap. And then again, take your right hand behind you, fingers pointing back. Take the left toes to point to the right side. Press down onto the right hand, lift the hips up, balance on your right shin. Lift the left arm up and over your head. Keep lifting that right hip up. Hips up and forward. Holding this for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Gently lower the hips down once more. Awesome. We'll just lie down on our mats. We'll end the practice with a nice twist. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Release the arms down to the sides like airplane wings. And then together we'll bring the knees over towards the left side. Your left hand can support your knees. See if you can keep both shoulders grounded onto the mat. And maybe explore if it feels better for you to extend your arms or bend your arms like cactus. Feel the stretch happening across your chest. Maybe around the spine at the back. And how does the twist feel on your right thigh, on your right hip? Is there a lot of sensation, or is there just a little? Start to release any tension that you might be holding on to. Unclench your buttocks. Relax your arms. On your next breath, take your knees back to center. Or just take a twist over to the other side. So bring your knees over to the right. Again, both shoulders down. And just keep your gaze up for now. Taking a mental note again of how this side feels. Does this side give me more sensation on my left hip? If it does, maybe this side is tighter. When we do this mental notes or observations, we should always come from a place of non-judgment. Again, just accepting how our body is doing at the present moment, knowing that tomorrow it might be different. And just being grateful of how our bodies are able to carry us and able to support us throughout our daily activities. Slowly come back to center, take your knees up, hug your knees in tight. Take another breath here, inhale. And then exhale. And slowly roll over to one side. So you can allow yourself to sit back up. And then again, we'll come back into our cross-legged pose. As we end the practice, with our eyes closed, palms together at the center of our chest. Bowing down in gratitude for our bodies and for the time that we are able to build strength, flexibility, and balance. Thank you so much for joining me in today's practice. I will see you in the next session. In the meantime, stay safe and take care. Namaste.